Hiya, happy whatever it was you celebrated. Slightly different format because I'm using my phone today because I'm trying out the lapel mic that Santa gave me. The evil, I don't know, empire of Apple made it so I can't actually use this on my Apple. I have to use it on my iPhone. But I did like that they sent me a warning, it's a strangulation hazard. So good idea for the person who struggles with anxiety. Anyway, if you can hear me, do a thumbs up or a wave or a something so that I know that you can hear me. And what did I want to tell you about? Well, I wanted to tell you a little bit. Hey, Vinay, I hope you had a really good Festivus. And Maria, hi, I can see a little thumbs up that came from one of you. Oh, what is it now doing? My phone is like sending me messages all over the place. Anyway, what I wanted to tell you about is this little fellow here that's coming out. I think it's in the wrong way round because I'm using my phone. The date coming out, if you are not already on the newsletter, get on the newsletter. It's really easy. You just go to the website, pennycastlewriter.com. Make sure you get yourself onto my mailing list because all the good stuff comes out first in the mailing list and you don't want to lose it. I can see there's 3 people watching, but I can't see who they are. So it's Vinay and Maria, and I'm not sure who else. Hello, you guys. So what I wanted to do was read to you a little bit about the book. So as you can see, this one is actually a galley copy that came through to me from Amazon. So if you are living overseas, you will be able to get it on print on demand or as an ebook at all your usual sellers. In South Africa, I won't be making it. Hello, Karen. I won't be making it, Karen, sorry. We won't be making it a print book unless, like, you were near me. I'm having a couple printed just, like, you know, to give my mom, stuff like that. But I thought what I might do for you today is, if you missed the newsletter, is read the blurb for you. There is a longer blurb that I will actually put up on the post on the blog. I will transfer this to the blog so you can have a look at it there. But it was also in the newsletter. So if you had been on the newsletter, you see where I'm going with this. Okay. Penny Castle is on a madcap chase in the pursuit of that most elusive of conditions, happiness. Following the advice of a happiness guru, leads her down cul-de-sac after hilarious cul-de-sac. The best that her inner demon, a tweezer-lipped character called Sally, can offer is an endless series of I told you so's. Even her work as a happiness coach, whilst it delivers joy to her clients, doesn't seem to do the trick for her. But all the time, the true path to happiness lies right in front of her. But it takes a series of disasters to help her see it. So for those of you who have been around, hello Brian, hello Sarah. For those of you who have been around in the last year and a half, this story takes place, it's a memoir, so it's a true, well, it's true for me, you know. I am sure there's a lot of people who were there at the time who are going, I do not remember it like that, Penny. But it's true for me, you know. There may have been 1 or 2 things where I have squashed timelines and things like that just to make it read better as a story. But it is a memoir. But for those of you who have known me for several years, it does not include the last 2 years. In fact, this book was started about 2 months. I started writing it about 2 months before Josh was diagnosed. And finishing this story during his illness was one of the things that kept me sane. So it is not a misery memoir. It is a not poor Penny, she lost her son memoir. It's actually a really funny memoir about how I became a coaching heretic, I suppose. So anyway, guys, sign up Make sure you sign up for the mailing list so you get these things first, but I'm going to put the longer blurb on the blog post, which I'll be doing in the next 10 minutes. It's really good to see so many people watching the live. Usually there's no one here, and it's nice not to be talking about anxiety, except I'm definitely going to keep the strangulation. Hello, Anthea. I'm definitely going to be keeping the strangulation hazard warning. You know, if times get bad. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. I've never had a suicidal thought in my life. The one thing I really want to tell you about the book is that a couple of my early readers have got back to me. And of course, the ones who you're most terrified of getting feedback from are your family, who I made them all go and read it over their Christmas holidays. And yeah, I don't know. You guys who are writers, do you find that your families are not your deepest critics, but you know, they either think it's amazing or there's just silence. So I have been waiting in the silence over the Christmas period. But yesterday, my brother, who you guys will know from everything I've said so far, and you will know if you see him on Facebook, is somebody who is witty and sarcastic and clever, and my big brother who I've worshipped since I was born, texted me last night to tell me how awesome he thought it was and how he felt Shannon and the boys got all the best lines, but that it had made him laugh, and he had spent the day, hey Anne-Marie, that he had spent the day in bed listening to cricket and reading the book, and I had carried on reading it until he was finished it. So that made my heart absolute sing with happiness. So yeah, that's it about the book. Just for you guys who were on Facebook yesterday, where I had mentioned that Rhoda's son was very sick. Unfortunately, Christopher passed away in the early hours of this morning. But luckily, Vinay, I will put the link on this at the end, okay, in the comments. Rufus, we were just talking about you and how awesome your feedback was. Anyway, Rhoda is safely on the express bus home. As you guys, if you're a South African, will know, to get home to Malawi, and Rhoda lives in the far north of Malawi, is a 3-day journey. So she will be home there in 3 days, and then we'll stay there to sort out the estate and the details and everything like that. So you will soon be seeing Penny in my hello Jean, Dr. Jean, congratulations Jean. For those of you who don't know Jean just got her doctorate in something in the coaching world. I've forgotten it. Jean, tell us exactly what it was, but it makes me feel like I ought to have been like a lot more respectful to Jean over the years. Anyway, so Rhoda is safely on her way. I have taken over domestic duties, which means that my house, yeah, it may well be like, you know, have the health department coming any moment now. Luckily, of course, we have Shannon with his obsessive compulsions, so I think I'm safe on that department. Anyway, guys, I will put the link so that you can sign up to the email on the bottom of this. I'll also put it on the blog, and the blog will have the longer blurb from the book, which tells you a little bit more about it. But over the coming weeks, right up until the 22nd of January, read the emails, because, hello Debbie, read the emails, because they will tell you about the cool stuff that you can get your hands on if you pre-order the book. So if you order the book once it's live, then you just get the book. But if you pre-order the book before the 1st of February from any of the ebook sellers, so it's available on Amazon and iTunes and Kobo and Torino and Nook and all of those good things, then you will, hello Sarah, you will be able to get your hands on some good stuff. Some of it is stuff that is only for you, and some of it is stuff that you will be getting your hands on before the general public. But I shouldn't have told you that, because that's for a later email. Jean, tell us. Come on. What was it, Jean? What was your doctorate in? I really want to know. So those of you who have just come online, Jean is online this morning watching, and Jean has just been What do you do? Is it given the right word, Jean? It's like she's just been made a doctor. Not a medical doctor, like a doctor of coaching. It means like she is like the Uber coach now. So Jean, like, don't burn my book, you know, like, because you'll see in there people who you might recognize. But I promise you, Jean, you come out well. Okay, guys. Jean, come on, tell us what it was in before we finish up for the day. Can you hear me on my new mic? Because this is the mic that I bought from my little side project that I am doing with Christopher. Oh, here we go. So Jean is now a doctor of applied leadership and coaching. Woo! Jean, I am so proud of you. You are one of those people who has just incredible, like, discipline and clarity of where you're going, and you just put your head down and you go there, and it is something that I really, really admire. You are awesome. Okay, guys, this is much longer than I expected to be online this morning. I hope you can hear really nicely. Yeah, I really do, because my side project kind of depends on having good sound quality. And I will be back online, not every day now. The month of anxiety, thankfully, is over. Actually, I'm feeling less anxious, so I think my project together with thanks, Jean. Jean's saying, and I'm proud of you and your book. Thank you so much, Jean. So I think to some extent my little project, my 30-day project of being mad online for a month really helped. And also, of course, there's a wonderful things called medications, which are wonderful. You know, my friend who's a neurologist keeps reminding me that one of the medications that I'm on is essentially a methamphetamine. But every time she says that, I just close my ears and I pretend that I can't hear her, because the psychiatrist gave it to me and it makes me feel much, much better. You know, so, you know, Chris is sitting there. Chris has a friend who gets picked up in, they call it the crack van. So what's happened is this kid lives really close to the school, but he didn't want to walk home. So his parents kind of actually in a way that reminds me of things that my parents would do or I would do. Instead of organizing for this kid to have like Uber or a pickup service, organize someone to pick him up each day in a van that looks just like the van from Breaking Bad. So the kids at school call it the crack van. So, you know, maybe with all this medication, we better be buying a crack van one of these days, especially if the book doesn't sell. But I'm not a chemist. I don't know how to make that stuff. Okay, I'm talking rubbish now. I will see you in the next couple of days when the next newsletter comes out. Vinay, I will put the link in the comments so that you guys have it. Otherwise, head over to the website so that you can get the good stuff ahead of everybody else. Thank you so much, guys, for the support and the encouragement and amazingness, not just for the book, not just over the festive period where I was grinching out. By the way, everybody, our entire family grinched out in our own ways, and I think we've all had the happiest Christmas that we have ever had. None of us ate anything Christmassy. Ruth had a tuna sandwich. I had 2 apples and I think a bowl of ice cream. Shannon had like his body weight in biltong. My mum and dad had pate and crackers. And then I think the highlight of actually Christmas Day for me was sitting in the garden listening to my neighbors have their annual Christmas fight. And for once, it wasn't me who'd lost their temper, so I was so excited about that. Okay, I really am talking crap now, so I am heading off. I will talk to you in a few days when the next newsletter comes out that just gives you a little bit more information about the book so that you all go online and pre-order your copy so that I don't ever have to go back to, I can make a living from this and I don't ever have to go back to being a sad little happiness consultant. All right, bye guys.